All right, well, welcome to Black Swan Outdoors, and welcome to the homestead. And yes, I am naked. Well, sort of. If you saw the previous video on winter layering, this is going to be another strip tease on how to layer for 3 seasons. So this could be backpacking, canoeing, hiking, whatever you want, encompassing a seasons, whether it be summer, where it's a dry heat or a humid heat, or spring and fall. So we're going to talk today. I'm going to dress as if I'm going to go for a mid-fall hiking trip, so we kind of get an idea. So like the previous video, our foundation of our clothing is going to be our wicking layer, right? Our base layer. So I'm going for, since it's a little cooler outside, I'm going to go for a pair of polypropylene lightweight long underwear bottoms, and then a polypropylene t-shirt. If it was summer, I could alternate this with a cotton t-shirt or another polypro t-shirt, or I could go with a base layer like this white silk weight shirt, lightweight shirt, which is great for if I'm in the sun, but I still don't want to get too overheated. So I'm going to go with, since it is a little bit chillier, I'm going to go with a strong, a thicker, more on my core, more layers on my core. So I'm going to go with another lightweight, lightweight long underwear top. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me additional thicknesses on my core, but allowing my arms to still be able to perspire and not potentially overheat. So I've got a lightweight base and then a little heavier weight top on here. Then I want is a protective layer. This is something that you're not going to have in the winter. This is going to help protect you from sun, bugs, sticks, things like that. And that's basically your regular clothes, essentially, is what it is. So I'm going to go for a pair of pants, or shorts, rather. And the reason why I want to go with shorts is if I'm moving, I want to be able to still regulate my temperature. So I still want my legs to breathe. I still want to be cooler, but I want to kind of cut that chill with that polypro on my legs. So it's a nice mix between the two. An alternative to that would be just a full pair of pants. And I could opt for a full pair of pants in just the summer. I could wear a full pair of pants in the fall with long underwear to get more insulation. Either one, but I want thin, quick, dry pants. What I like to avoid, and this is my personal preference, are the zip-off pants that the legs zip off. I have not had a lot of success with them. They're handy, but the problem with them is the zippers break or the legs. You've misplaced the legs. To me, it's too much. I'd rather just go with if you don't like shorts, go with pants, and if you want to go with shorts, go with shorts. But it gives you the flexibility. All right, so just like I'm wearing pants, I want to wear a shirt, and the shirt that I want to put on is this is a lightweight travel is what I call them, travel shirts. And you want to be able to have sleeves that roll up up the sides, and you want to have this back vent on here. I think that makes a very big difference. You can wear the shirt alone without the base layer in the summer to protect you from sun and bugs, but then also be able to put that on as an additional layer should you need that in the fall. Now, if it was really cold, and I probably don't need this base, this kind of protective layer on here, I could forgo completely the shirt as well and just do another layer on there. But most of the time, I like the flexibility of having the shirt. So then I want an insulating layer. So this could be a wool sweater or a fleece sweater of some kind. And I'm going to put that on over these layers. All right. Now, let's say if it's getting a little chilly. If I'm at camp and I want a little extra protection, I could go with some fleece pants, and I could certainly put these on while I'm sleeping, or have these as an alternative to pants. Generally, I don't take these along with me. It's extra bulk and weight, but if you want a little extra comfort, or you think it's going to be a little chilly, you could go with those pants too. What I like to do, though, is pair of wind pants. since the 2-layer Gore-Tex came out, it was very common for people to have a raincoat and then a wind jacket of some kind. Now they're so lightweight that you don't have the need for that as much. But I really like wind pants. It's going to cut that convective heat loss, and then in a light rain, it's going to keep me nice and dry as well. So warmth and dry. All right, so my next layer then is going to be another insulating layer, just for the ability to have this on. And again, I could put this in my pack if I didn't need it, and I could have it with me to throw it on if we got to, have lunch and we stopped moving. I could put this on. And then lastly, if it does start to rain, or if I did need that extra protection, but generally if it's rain, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw on my shell layer. And now I have a shell layer, insulating layers. Now if it's still a little bit chilly, then I'll go ahead and throw on a neck gaiter. And these wool neck gaiters are fantastic because they work as gaiters, but they also work as a makeshift hat if you need it. So if you don't want to wear, and if you don't think you'll ever need, maybe it's in the middle of the summer, you don't want a wool cap, then you could wear the neck gaiter as a head radiating heat protection. But I'm going to go with a wool cap as well. Generally, if you want to stay warm, have extra base layers and a wool hat, and you'll stay super warm in any condition. That's kind of a baseline. Especially if you don't want to carry an extra jacket, carry an extra base layer, top and bottom, and carry your hat, and you're going to stay super warm. Now, and then I'm going to throw in a pair of gloves here. And then, of course, I'm going to have my sunglasses, as I always do. And then I want to make sure that I'm protected completely from the sun and exposure, so I'm going to have sunscreen, and I'm going to have my chapstick. Now, if it was summertime, I might forego, as I said, wearing the stocking cap, and I'm going to go with a full brim hat. And the full brim hat's going to keep that sun from the back of my head, but it's also going to keep the sun out of my eyes. And here's the key, though. The nice thing with the full brim hat is that if you're in rainy conditions, wearing your hood sucks. It blocks the wind, especially if you're canoeing. It's not very comfortable. But if you have a full brim hat on, then you're going to be fully waterproof protected, and you're now going to be able to be a little bit more comfortable in the rain. The other advantage to the full brim hat is in conjunction with a bug net. So if you're in buggy conditions, putting this on with your bug net, with your mosquito netting, it's going to keep the bugs away from your face. And with your shell layer on, and or your protective layer, you've got yourself 90 or 80% protected from mosquitoes and other bugs. Now, if I wanted to carry an alternate base layer, then what I would do is I'd have my white base layer top that I could use as a t-shirt in the sun, or I could layer up with that midway, as we saw in the winter version of this video. Alternatively, I could also have a pair of boxer shorts or underwear that aren't long, and I could wear this in combination with, or alternative to. Socks we didn't talk about, and socks are a nice segue because I like mid-weight socks personally. And mid-weight socks, the nice thing about them is if you don't want to take an extra pair of gloves, or you don't think you need them, a pair of mid-weight gloves work excellent as a pair of mittens. And so there's no shame on the trail. And I do this quite often if I want to save my weight. Although if I'm going to be in around water, then I like to have a pair of gloves that can get wet, where I'm not going to want to get these super wet. In the summer, I like mid-weight merino wool, but or for most conditions. But in the summer, I'm going to go for a lighter weight sock and go for a lightweight sock. Again, like I said in the previous video, you can sweat up to 4 cups of water a day out of your feet. So if you're adding more insulation on your feet, you're just making it perspire more and get subjected to blisters. There's enough polypropylene in both of these socks to create a wicking layer, so it's not necessary if you're not carrying a pack. But if you're carrying a heavy pack, I do recommend the aligner sock, and that is going to help mitigate friction, especially as your feet are perspiring, so that you're going to get potentially less blisters. Plus, it's a great alternative lightweight sock when you get into camp. Okay, so you have 3 socks. I would carry, generally I might carry a pair of light sock, maybe 1, maybe 2 midweight socks, and then a lightweight sock. And even if it's just a small or a short, light hike, I might just carry these 3 and call it a day. Okay, so we've pretty much got all of those layers. The last thing I want to say is, and I didn't mention this in the previous video because I had forgotten, and that is a pair of gaiters. Instead of a full-on pair of rain pants, I like to wear a raincoat, my rain hat, and then a pair of gaiters. And these are going to go on over my boots or shoes. And what they're going to do is it's going to keep the rain on the upper legs of from my upper part of my lower part of my legs from getting wet. It's going to keep rain out of my boots. I could walk across a stream and get less water in there. I could walk in a scree field and get less scree in my boots or other debris. I could wear these up through brush, and then protect myself from ticks, even snakes. And then I can also push them down so they're low. So I like the high gaiter because I can get them in all 4. I can use it in all 4 seasons and all environments. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm always having my gaiters and my things. Now, if I am going to be in an environment where it's going to be constantly raining and cool, then I'm going to have a full-on pair of rain pants. But I like to save that weight and just have this wind pants instead. And that's just me. So a little bit of being uncomfortable for a lot less weight. Okay, so let's talk shoes. Okay, so boots is your standby. Leather or cloth boots are fine. Make sure though, if you go with a boot like this, you're going to have Gore-Tex. I personally like Gore-Tex on there. Whether you want to have a leather boot with Gore-Tex, that's up to you and your preference, or having a boot that's insulated, again, that's your preference. I like Vibram soles, reputable companies, stick with, and you're going to be fine. Alternative to boots, and when you're not carrying a pack, or you don't need, it's not super rugged terrain, you're going to be better off in a trail shoe. The trail shoe it's a much lighter on your feet, so it's going to be easier on your back. It's going to be a way more comfortable hike, all in all, and you're just going to be cooler, and it's going to be just overall just more comfortable. The nice thing is I can use these in conjunction. If I'm canoeing, for example, I use my sneakers as wet shoes and then my boots as dry shoes, so I can portage a canoe with my boots on and have something nice and warm at the end of the day, and then I can have a pair of wet shoes. Alternative to that would be a pair of sporting sandals. Very lightweight hiking, I could get away with something like this, but I'm going to have a lot of exposure on my toes and feet, so there's a drawback. Although I prefer sandals myself, and I say if Rome conquered Western civilization in sandals, I think a hiking trip is nice. One thing that a lot of people don't talk a lot about is leave no trace, and it's the impact that you have on your feet have on the trail and your campsite is really important to think about. So you really want to wear lightweight shoes whenever you can, for the sake of protecting the environment and trails and campsites. So up to you of which you want to wear, depending on your conditions and what you're doing. But those are basically your 3 options. The other thing I might carry with me, as far as, and this is not really clothing, is a shemagh, and this is a great thing for the summer, or any conditions really, and or a bandana. If I don't have a full brim hat on, I can wear the bandana around my back and my neck to protect it from the sun and bugs. but plenty of other alternative uses for both of these things, not just wearing. So that is my 3 Seasons layering system. As you probably noticed, there's a lot of the same clothing as a foundational clothing to my 4 Seasons system. The 3 Season kind of overlaps with that with a few extra things. If I missed something or you want to add something, please add that to the comments below. I appreciate your attention, and we will talk to you in the next video.